Hey YouTube, this is Ace Pinkter. I work a full-time job, so I have to sort of schedule my time in a music studio or a digital workstation, and that means I can't always jot something down right when I think of it, or right when it's in my head, if I have a melody or a beat. So often when I'm sitting in front of the computer, I become a bit uninspired and find that nothing I make sounds good. So what I want to do is not so much demonstrate a technique today, but rather just talk about ways to kind of keep yourself inspired, keep the music flowing, and just work on different ideas during those dry periods. If you listen to blues and jazz, you might notice a tendency for them to have two instruments that sort of talk to each other. They have a bit of a conversation, and it sounds rather strange, but you'll know it when you hear it. Something like this, perhaps. So that's pretty easy, and we've already got the beginning of a song just with two instruments and a set of drums. Now, this particular melody is not, it's nothing amazing, but it's the way these two instruments work with each other that provides interest, and it makes the piece sort of come alive. Another thing you might do, when I started off writing piano rolls, learning the ins and outs of a music workstation, I would try to, starting from the beginning and work with a beat, just build it right from the bass, right from the first note on, the first beat on. But I found you can make a lot of dynamic and interesting melodies by dropping the first beat. So don't bring anything in until the second beat, which might sound something like this. Now that one plays very nicely with the beat, and it just becomes catchy. Maybe it's because of that way that's dropped or whatever, but I rather like that piece. So when you're trying to write a melody and you haven't got a clue, one thing you can do, this is an ancient technique, it's been around for ages, very classical technique, called counterpoint. And counterpoint's quite simple. It involves, let me make sure I got my timing right here, okay. What counterpoint is about is taking more than one melody and making them play with each other. Alright? Something might sound like this. If I write a quick melody. Alright, just a basic. Now what I'll do is I'll jump one octave above, and we'll write another melody which will almost, but not entirely, go along with it. It's kind of weird. Seems to drop that note. Anyway. Now, yeah, we are getting some harmonics here, but it's not the most interesting of melodies. I might do one more pattern on the fifth. The fifth interval you can always find by counting up 7 semitones. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now this note should go in harmony. Yep. So just kind of haphazardly throwing something together right there. Right. As you see, it's not terribly interesting, but FL Studio and Reason offer new arpeggiators, which can really crank out something interesting from this. Let's see what we can come up with. So you can get all kinds of wacky stuff out of here. We can even jump directly to, let's see, I think we can go into some scales. No. But as you see, without too much effort and just programmatically, we've come up with a melody. Now I would probably throw in some offbeat quantization just to shake it up, make it sound a bit more rhythmically interesting, or a strum effect, something like that. Whatever you like. So that's pretty much counterpoint. And I know it's a lot of music theorists will talk about it. We'll talk about it for ages, but it's a pretty simple concept with some very strict rules that you can either choose to obey or not obey. Another thing you might do, if you're always writing music with the same structure, the same time signature, most people listen to and work with 4/4 time, which is what all dance music revolves around. But it's not the only time signature out there. A lot of jazz, a lot of classical pieces and movie scores, and just really popular pieces that you might have heard rely on a different structure called 3/4 time, where there's 3 beats. If you think of that ba pa sort of rhythm, that's 3/4 time. This is what a particular piece might sound like in 4/4 time. Right, kind of just average. And in 3/4 time, it becomes strangely rhythmic. It's a bit different. In 5/4 time, it gets a bit funky. Now, there's no easy way to switch time signatures. You pretty much have to write the piece all over. And you won't find any good drum rolls or drum patterns that are based on 5/4 or 3/4 time, so you kind of got to go your own and program your own drums. But it's not too difficult to do. Something else you might do, and there's no shame in this, you take an old MIDI song. This is a Russian piece called Pamyati Koya. It really doesn't need those crappy drums. I just wanted to have something in there quickly, and I'm using all slices for the sake of time. So this is what we got, as you see. Let's try running a chopper on this and see if we can make this a bit more interesting here. I think this is how all techno remixes of classical songs were created. What we might do to get it even more interesting is run the flip tool on it. We can flip it horizontally. We can flip it vertically. This plays the entire song in reverse, note by note. We're getting some interesting contrasting rhythms here, some syncopation. I don't know if I like that or not, but it's interesting to work with. We can limit by a certain key range, and this will more or less chop or eliminate some of the notes that we don't really care for. You'll see that you can actually see it in real time. That's very cool. So doing something like this means we can actually retune our entire song to a different key, or invert it in quite a few different ways. Now, strangely enough, it still has a sort of it still has that Russian minor sound to it. I'm not sure. It must be the chords that they use. But as you see, we're getting quite a lot of variety out of this already. We can even flip it vertically. Beware of flipping vertically because the notes will suddenly go out of scale. This is pretty much all I got for today. I just wanted to demonstrate a few of the tricks that I've used to sort of break the musician's block. I think of it as playing audio games. A lot of people play video games. People like us, music producers, we play audio games. Blah, 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 blah. That's all I got. Ace Pinkter signing off.